So nice to be here tonight. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Jesse Oton, and I went to Los Angeles Community College for automotive servicing. And in the Army Reserve, I was also a mechanic. It's 63 Bravo. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you about checking your fluids on your vehicle. But before I go any further, let me ask everybody this question. How many vehicles are you going to ruin before you ask yourself what happened? How many of you have ever gone down the road and something happened to your car and you ask yourself that question, right? What happened? Okay? Tonight I'm going to be speaking to you about checking fluids in your car that also are very important because it can save you costly repairs, prevent accidents, and possibly save your life. I will be giving you some information about some of the following fluids: engine oil, fuel, antifreeze, power steering fluid, windshield wiper fluid, and transmission fluid. And that's going to be for automatic transmission fluid. And after class, you can ask me about manual transmissions if you wish, okay? But before we continue, I got a video that I have to show you. Enjoy.
I'm Alan Stanley for Haldini.com. Today we're going to be checking fluid. The first fluid we're going to check is your radiator fluid. Never check this when the engine is hot, as it can be extremely dangerous and can burn you. Check it first thing in the morning when the engine is cold. Notice that it has a cold fluid level. That's where you want to check it. Make sure that it's up to that level. If not, you want to add a little bit. The next fluid we'll check is your washer fluid. The container holds about a gallon. You can get it at a hardware store for about a couple bucks. Make sure to not ever use water though, as it can freeze and cause damage to the bottle. In a pinch, Windex will do. The next fluid, and the most important fluid probably in your engine, is your engine oil. Sometimes locating the oil dipstick can be tricky. Look for the bright yellow or red handle. You're going to check the level. Make sure that it's between the crosshatch area. If it's below, you'll need to add some. Be sure not to ever overfill your oil, as this can cause just as much damage as an underfilled engine. If you do need to add oil, the filler cap is the place to do it. And listed right on the filler cap is the weight of the oil recommended for your engine. The last fluid we'll check is the brake fluid. Notice it has a minimum and maximum line. Make sure there's fluid in between the two. This particular vehicle uses DOT 3 brake fluid, and it indicates it on the cap. Those are the fluids, and I'm Alan Stanley for Haldini.com.
Great. One of the fluids that the gentleman on the video did not mention is the transmission fluid, okay? And I want you to pay attention. Please take precaution and make sure that your vehicle is on level ground and your emergency brake is on before you do that. And when propping up the hood, make sure that the hood rod is up there. Make sure it's on there real good. And if it has those little shock absorbers, they look like shock absorbers, make sure they do work properly. If not, use something that will keep it up there pretty good, okay? Engine oil. Engine oil is very important in your vehicle. One of the functions of the oil is to minimize metal-to-metal contact, reducing friction. There's a lot of parts inside of an engine: crankshaft, camshaft, piston rods. There's all kinds of other parts in the engine. Fuels. How many of you have gone down the road and all of a sudden you realize, you look at your fuel gauge and you're running on empty? How many of you have done that before? It's very important that you do check your fuel regularly, okay? A lot of us don't do that. We just go down the road and all of a sudden we realize that we need more fuel, and then we have to stop, and sometimes that causes us to be late to an appointment or to work many times, okay? Now, brake fluid. Brake fluid is a very important fluid, excuse me. Sometimes you're going down the road and you step on your brakes and your brake pedal goes down almost to the floor, and it's panic time, right? How many of you have ever experienced that? I have experienced that. I lost all my brakes because I lost the brake line. Now, I didn't check. At that time, that was many years ago, but I should have checked that. Brake fluid is also a very important fluid, and also brake fluid is affected by heat. Okay, there's different temperatures on different type of brake fluids. The gentleman on the video said that Antifreeze. Antifreeze is very important also. What antifreeze does, it reduces your boiling point of water. How many of you know what the boiling point of water is? It's 212 degrees, okay? The freezing point is 32 degrees. Here in Tucson, well, it might not ever happen, but it could. It could. Very important that you do that. Windshield wiper fluid. I have some samples here. If after class you want to come and take a look at them, you can do that. Windshield wiper fluid is also very important to clean your windshield wiper. It's very important to see where you're going, right? Automatic transmission fluid, a lot of us don't check it. Very rarely do we check it. And also there's also on the handle, it might be a color on it. It could be red, it could be yellow, and it'll say trans on it or transmission. And you check that. Some of them you check it in park, some of them you check it in neutral with the engine running. And it's very important. That is why it's very important to have the engine with the emergency brake set and in park. Okay, very, very, very important on that. Now I spoke about fluids, checking your fluids and why it is very important. I also spoke to you of the things that can happen if you don't check them. It's very, very important on that. And it's also very important for you to do some maintenance on your vehicle. You can do dailies, you can do weeklies, monthlies, and yearlies, depending on what is it you're going to do. Checking fluids in your vehicle is very important. So either take it to a shop or your favorite mechanic. If you don't know a mechanic, I know somebody that's very, very honest. I'm not going to say who he is, but I got an itch in my nose over here. Okay, so this valuable information that I have given you, take it seriously, okay? Because most of us just get in the car, put fuel, and go. So it's very important, okay? And my question is, how many cars are you going to ruin? How many? 0. You shouldn't ruin any cars, okay? So I hope this information was very informative to you, and have a good evening. Thank you so much for having me here.